Hey, this is Clara from France.
Hi.
And I'm Julian from Germany. And we will answer some questions about languages for the Nobodies channel.
Okay, fantastic. So, how did the two of you meet?
Yeah, here in South Africa. We're both part of a big group of international students, of 20 international students. And yeah, we spent a lot of time together, traveling, meeting in the evening. So yeah, that's it.
So why did you guys choose to come to South Africa to do an exchange?
I wanted to have something different than Europe and the Western world, like America, Europe and stuff. So I decided to have an adventure and go to South Africa. I also wanted to improve my English. So I had to go to an English-speaking country. So I chose South Africa.
Yeah, it's quite the same for me. I really wanted to go in an English-spoken country. And I also know some people who went in South Africa before. So they talked to me a lot of this country and I really wanted to come. So, yeah.
So that's quite interesting. You guys speak about how you wanted to improve your English. Why do you think that it's necessary in the world that we live in to improve your English? Like, why do you think English is such an important language?
I think it's just because the world becomes more global. So all of my friends are traveling around the world and there's so many foreign people in my country, and I want to travel for myself and for my work in the future. So I think for me it's really important to improve it. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's quite the same because I would like to be a journalist, and travel all around the world. So I think I really need to have one language that I can speak in most of the countries. It's easier.
Yeah. So how do you feel about speaking to each other in English opposed to speaking to him in maybe French and you speaking to her in German? How do you feel that what's not your home language is what you use to communicate with each other? Is that weird?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, definitely. But, I mean, we both don't speak English perfectly, but we still can understand each other perfectly. So, I don't know, I always get what she wants to say to me. For example, I have it like if I talk to English-speaking persons, like native speakers, they don't really get what I wanted to say, but if I talk to her, like, I don't know why it is, but she can get it better than other persons.
I think maybe German and French have some words in common, so we also can understand each other like this. And yeah, it's quite funny because in a relationship when you want to express like your feelings and it's not in your native language, it's a bit weird because this is really personal and so yeah.
But sometimes I even feel like I say things to her that I would not say in my mother language German because it would sound so stupid.
Yeah.
So it's better in English sometimes.
Can you give us an example of something like that?
No one can understand German. Like, I don't know. Not really, right?
But as far I mean, there will be other German people who will watch this.
Oh, that would be ridiculous. No, better no.
Okay.
But like, if you want to express feelings, like sometimes in German it sounds really like weird. Like you would not say that, but in English, because I don't know, it sounds smoother and better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, what can you tell us about your language that many people might not know, like about German or French that us English speakers wouldn't know about your language, like its history or how it came about to be the way it is today? Like, what could you tell us about?
I know that French, like at the beginning, I don't remember the date, but I know that we had like 3 different French, and the one we are talking today is the one of the king, because it was like the better. So yeah, we finally speak all the French of the king.
Yeah, for me it's like many people think that German is a really rough and aggressive language. Like when I talk to people here, they say like, "Oh, I have the feeling you're always screaming and you sound so aggressive." And I don't know, I can just say that I feel like, and everyone in my country has a feeling that it's a really like nice language and smooth language. So we don't have the feeling that we're screaming and sounding aggressively all the time. But apparently all the others do. So, like for example, the word like Schmetterling, it sounds it's butterfly, and butterfly is such a nice word, and Schmetterling sounds so aggressive. So I don't know.
Okay, so in each country, obviously you have dialects. Like if you, for example, let's use Switzerland. So you have Swiss French and you have Swiss German, and then you have like your German and your French. Like, how do you feel about your language being spoken by other people but they change it? Do you understand what I'm saying? How does that make you feel?
I don't know, as long as I can understand it, I'm completely fine with it, definitely. And also, like foreign people, if they try to speak German, of course, I appreciate it that they at least try, because I know it's a really hard language to learn. So I feel good about that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think sometimes there are some dialects that we really cannot understand. They even have their own words, and we're like, okay, but I think it's just funny, and yeah, to see how people can speak your language but with an accent and totally differently. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So is there a problem in dating people from another country in Europe? Or because, I mean, it's quite interesting because you said you came to South Africa because you wanted to get away from Europe, but now your girlfriend's European. So,
True.
is it acceptable for you to, let's say you came and you dated South African, would that be okay? Or is it better that it's European? Like, how does it work? Does not matter. You can marry whoever you want or date whoever you want.
Actually, it doesn't really matter for me. Like, I didn't came with the goal here to South Africa to meet a European girl or whatever. Like, it just came naturally. And I don't mind. So.
Yeah, I think it's not a problem in France either. We are used to that, and I think people even are happy with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would like to learn some French now, because it would be nice to speak a language, like if a little bit, because I have no idea of French. Like, I can say like stupid things, like everyone knows, but it's not enough to really communicate. And now I'm like kind of keen to learn the language, like at least a little.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think if for example you come in France and you have to meet like my friends and my family, my parents, for example, they don't speak English at all, so.
I neither.
Yeah.
Really?
Not at all.
No.
Well, that's quite
They didn't learn it in school, so.
So how's this going to work if you know?
We're going
not
to
really. It's not going to work, I think, now. I don't know.
They're just going to think that we are stupid because we cannot speak like, I don't know.
And I mean, also, like with my friends, of course, we don't speak English. And when I invite her and want to introduce her to everyone, it would be kind of funny, because if they want to talk to me, they should also like speak English, because otherwise it would be rude, right? Because she wouldn't be part of the conversation anymore. So from now on, maybe if we're together, like also with our friends, we have to talk English, like everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So I just went blank. Okay. So let me just ask you this question, and I'll go back to that question. It will come back to me. So your favorite phrase or word in German and in French would be?
For me, it's schadenfroh. It's because, like, I learned here that also people in the English language use it. I have like 3 people from the UK who actually told me that schadenfroh is a word also in English, because they don't have the words in their language to express this kind of feeling. Like, it means if you like laugh about another person's failure, for example, but in a funny way, but someone is falling, like not really hurt or stuff, like falling, and then you're schadenfroh. That means like you laugh because this person just was falling and stuff. So you don't have it in English, this word. So you adapted the German word for it, and that's what I like.
Yeah, and for you?
And I think maybe my favorite sentence is bon appétit, which means enjoy your meal, because I know that in other countries, not all of them, but some countries, you don't say anything before your meal. And in France, it's like tradition. Each time before your meal, you say bon appétit. And I don't know. It's really nice. And here, I cannot really say enjoy your meal. So I don't know.
No one
I
says
miss that a bit.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, we always say guten Appetit. Like, it's normal to say that.
Yeah. So how do you think it will work, though, your relationship, if your cultures are kind of different? How does it work? Like, obviously one of you is going to have to learn the other one's language first.
Yeah.
So...
But I think the good thing is that our cultures are not that different. Like, it's quite the same. Our values and stuff that we have in our traditions. So I think this won't be a problem. Like not for us, not for our friends, not for our families. It's actually really just a language.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are obviously like both of your countries are superpowers in Europe, right? So how do you guys let me just ask. So how do you guys feel that, let's say, for example, you're encouraged to learn English, but you might not be encouraged to learn German as well, and you might not be encouraged to learn French, but you actually have a lot of like influence in your in the world. How does that make you feel that you almost become secondary to English, like you're forced to learn English but not each other's languages?
So for my part, I'm completely fine with that because I think there has to be one language that everyone knows and everyone is able to speak to communicate. Like because the world getting more global, it's the globalization and stuff, and it's not going back. So I think it's a good thing. And I think there was not even a person who decided, okay, let's speak all English. It just came naturally. Like, because I think it's kind of an easy language and a language that maybe everyone is able to understand and learn. And of course, because of the history of the UK. But I also think like the English-speaking persons should try to learn another language, or at least like give it some attempts to do it, because then they can understand like our point of view to that we don't speak perfectly and why we maybe pronounce words in a certain way, or why do we make some grammar mistakes or stuff. So I think they should also try to learn at least one, I don't know, European, Asian, whatever language, just to understand like other person's point of view and just not be like arrogant about it, like, oh, why don't they speak perfect English? Without having an idea like how it actually is to learn a language. So.
And I also think that it's important for them to learn another language, because when you learn a language, it's not only understanding how it is difficult, but it's also discover another part of the world. And I think you can become really more open-minded like this. Yeah. But it's true that German and French are really difficult languages, so...
Actually, I would not recommend anyone to learn German because it's really difficult. So, but of course, it's cool if you want to try.
I think English is actually more difficult than French.
Oh yeah, maybe like German. It's difficult to say for us because we already learned it in school. Yeah. Like English is really familiar for us right now.
I know for like a lot of Asian speakers, it's very difficult to learn English.
Okay.
So I also think maybe because also the alphabet might be different as well, and that's what makes it difficult.
Yes.
So, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure.
You want to say anything else?
No, it's okay.
Thank you. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Sure.
Did you stop it?